Okay, we're going to do a revision of grade 11 trigonometry. And it all starts right here with this triangle. And we're going to use the basic ideas. All trigonometry is just fractions made out of the sides of a triangle. And there's a reason why we're using the letters X, Y, and R, because we're going to look at it in a coordinate plane. But when you say the sine of this angle here is y over r, that should make sense to you because it's the opposite side over the hypotenuse. And cosine is x over r, that's the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. And tangent is y over x, that's the opposite side over the adjacent side. So that's the very beginning of trigonometry. But in grade 11, we look at not just the first quadrant here, just one triangle. We look at what if we moved over here in the second quadrant of a Cartesian plane here. So instead of x along and y up, we go minus x and then y up. And the third quadrant, where we've gone x to the left, negative x and negative y. And then the fourth quadrant, where we've gone positive x, but negative y. If you notice here, r is all positive. Well, we put angles. This is 0 degrees, that's 90, that's 180 degrees, and that's 270. You have to be able to go to where an angle is, and you have to be able to figure out the sine. Well, from 0 to 90 degrees, that's the first quadrant. All trigonometric functions, sine, cosine, and tangent, are positive. But if you go to the second quadrant, y is positive because you're going up. And so opposite over a hypotenuse, sine is positive, but cosine, which is minus x over r, that becomes negative. Because you've gone to the left, this adjacent side is negative, and it makes cosine negative. And y over minus x, y over x is tangent, y over minus x make tangent negative. So what this thing here is, it's telling you that everything, all the trig functions are positive in the first quadrant, but only sine is positive in the second quadrant. Cosine and tangent are negative. So this is telling you where trig functions are positive. Down here, sine and cosine will be negative because x and y are negative, but negative y over negative x makes a positive tangent. And over here, cosine is positive because x is positive, but sine and tangent are negative. So we sometimes say all stations to Cape Town or all students take calculus, but to help us remember where trig functions are negative or positive. Now I've got a little exercise here where you go the sine of 20 degrees. I want you to go to where it is and decide which quadrant is that, and is it positive or negative? And then go and press the button on your calculator and it'll tell you if you've done it right, because it's going to give you an answer. And you can write it down to 2 decimal places. Okay, well that's it. That's where we'll get started.